Live. All right. What is up, everybody? I am Pooch. Welcome to the HumpDay RepRapUp. I don't know. I'm still working with the title, but been having a good time. Lot happened this last week. As always, I kind of threw this all together at the last minute, but I'm here now, and we're good to go. And it looks like people are piling in. I'm hoping people are piling in. I realize I don't think I ever saved my... No, maybe I did. I don't know. The production value is getting a little bit better as we go. You know, I got my multiple screens going. I got my chat. I don't know which way to point yet. Chat in the comments. So we got things happening here. Hopefully it's working. Give me some signs of life out there. Jeff, I want to give a big shout out first of all to my buddy over at DeRusso Designs. He got married this last week, and that's awesome. You know, congrats on that. That's a big step. I've been married myself. It'll be 10 years this year. I affectionately refer to my wife as wifey. Until I get permission to use a different name or to have her on stream or something like that. She'll be known as wifey. But yeah, 10 years myself, and I can't believe it's already been that long. And Jeff, I wish you the best and much longevity to your wedding as well, your marriage as well. All right, you know what? I'm going to turn off the AC that I realized I left on, so hopefully it doesn't mess up the audio. And otherwise, somebody give me the high sign. Are we go? Oh, he missed it all. Oh well, you'll have to check it in the recording, I guess. I know that's the dangers of just kind of starting before people like actually all file in and whatnot. I got to come up with a better method. Just I'll tweet it out, tell people it's live, like actually before it's live, so that the first like 5 minutes of the stream isn't all this extra drivel. But here, let's just do that now, just in case there's anybody just waiting for the official tweet. All right, and we are live. Come on down. And the link. All right, that is that. All right, well, hey, whatever means necessary, Jeff. Let's see here. Okay, we're gonna get started here. I'm gonna look at my little list. All right. Well, on the docket today, I just wanted to give a couple project updates, talk about the Adopt-A-Bot I'm working on. I'll show that off. I tried to set up a little bit better this time. Got my little desk with all my goodies on it that I plan to talk about. Planning is to go about an hour today. This is a good time because kids are out of the house and it's kind of quiet. Welcome, Heather. Good to see you. So I hope everybody's having a great Wednesday, Hump Day, through Hump Day now. We're cruising to the weekend now, baby. It's good. I hope it's panning out to be a good week. I've seen some not so good weeks and stuff for other people, but hey, you know, I'm glad. I'm hoping this is going to be the beginning of the improvement. Hey, Cyber Dustin, I got some goodies over in the corner here to show off of yours. All right. So now we got people pouring in. Hopefully we get some more here in just a bit. Want to start out with a couple shout-outs. I'm going to do it again because I think Jeff missed it. But first of all, shout-out to Jeff DeRusso for getting married this last week. That's a big step. Congratulations. Golf clap to you, sir. Also, big shout-out to my buddy Cyber Dustin, who made this fine-looking maker coin for me. I've been delaying making a maker coin for years now. You know, it's like you're not a real maker until you have a coin, right? Well, thankfully, Cyber Dustin picked up my slack and he made this for me. And interesting story about that. That's the reason that, that the stream delayed. And you might notice it's missing a layer or two there, Dustin. But we'll get into that in a minute. I did try to, here, there's the close-up, but I'll try to bring it up here. I tried to print it nice and big in some nice blingy bronze filament for you. And turns out this bronze filament that I got from a supplier to try out is not very good filament, so fail. But the Maker coin is awesome all the same, so I'm gonna put that back on my close-up cam for now. Looks almost a little more gold on that C920 over there. But anyway, cranked that guy out pretty quick on the Delta. I love that. I got my big nozzle on there right now, 1.2 mil. I get some nice fat layer lines going, and that can just crank out prints in no time. For those of you who didn't see yesterday's Make Every Day, I had a awesome screwdriver holder that is on my pegboard now that I also did, and I just love how I can just crank out a good, reliable piece in like 45 minutes or less sometimes. And that Volcano setup with a fat nozzle, man, that is awesome. Awesome. I highly recommend it if you guys have the opportunity to try upgrading your hot end to something like that. It's great if you're looking to get some fast prints or anything that's big and bulky that doesn't need to be nice and precise. It's perfect for stuff like that. So you can tell I'm getting loose, getting a little pumped up, getting a little amped. I got some good energy. I'm excited as we get closer to Friday. Got some cool stuff going on this weekend with the fam, and gonna go check out. Hopefully, I'm gonna go check out. Hey, Pyro's in the house. Hopefully, I'm gonna go meet up with you guys later on. That'll be a fun time. Heather and Travis, and yes, I know, Heather. Not everything can be pink though. Okay, we got to save the pink filament for when it's really important, like the Mickey ears and the large unicorns and whatnot. So, but yeah, we got some stuff in the works, and we'll talk about that down the road a bit. So, first thing I want to talk about is Adopt-A-Bot. For those who've been following along at home, I was lucky enough to meet up with Brooke a couple times down at PrinterBot HQ, and he gave me not one but 3, and I know because I am a special snowflake. Everybody else is limited to 1, but I actually went down there and helped him crank out a whole bunch of them. We kitted a ton of stuff, and I'm hoping some of you guys in the chat or anybody out there watching may have gotten a hold of those. If you didn't get a hold of any of the pros or any of the initial beta units, we sent out a whole bunch of smalls kits as well, and really there's nothing that prevents you from printing out the majority of the parts for a smalls 2. Once I get through these 3, I think I'm going to try creating a smalls from scratch. I'll have to get a couple parts, but it's all pretty common rep wrap. Hey, Nick in the house, welcome. Got a good following today. So just so you guys know, I was not kidding in that tweet. Stick around for the end. We're going a little higher tech this time. I found a website that I can plug everybody's name into for the giveaway. And yes, this stream is sponsored by Greg the Great. I feel like Greg needs something. When you're looking for greatness, look no further than Greg the Great. That's his promo. I don't see him on here yet, but hopefully he catches that, because he needs a little PSA or something like that. No, he was seriously, he just approached me. He DM'd me earlier this week, and he's like, hey, can I sponsor the giveaway this week? And I'm like, hey, that's super generous of you, man. Absolutely. So what we're gonna do at the end, for those of you who have not been with us before for this, I'm gonna move over here so I'm not obscured, hiding behind the chat. We're gonna do a 3-pack this week, the RGB, because that's essential colors. These are 250-gram spools. The idea, for those who haven't heard it before, I wanted to package some smaller color options together for a lower price for people that wanted to get a variety of colors, just kind of as a starter kit kind of idea. And I gotta tell you, it seems like it's really caught on. I've been super appreciative of people who have have bought and commented on Twitter. I promise you, I have not planted any of those people. It's just incredible, the outpouring of support the community provides, and it just means so much to me. So I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. So huge shout out to our sponsor tonight, Greg the Great. We'll do that at the end. Hopefully you can hang in. Happy Extruder in the house. Yes, he's picked one up too, and you have a chance now to get some more when you burn through that stuff, no doubt. Question from our friend Krusty over at Practical. Does that mean the price is a bottle of Fireball? I think I missed the beginning. Blue or Chaos Red? A bottle of Fireball sends like, what is that? Like about 30 bucks? So yeah, that could be about right. I'd say it's a lot more fun than a bottle of Fireball. Different kind of fun. Okay, we all like a good Canadian Fireball whiskey from time to time, don't we? Yeah, okay, hang out for that. So let's go back to Adopt-A-Buy, because I want to give you guys an update. I'm gonna bring Ellis over here. Ellis is our fine red PrinterBot Pro. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take my little remote and I'm gonna go back here and use my table, and I'm gonna stand up. See how this works. I'm not going to be able to read the comments, and I'm going to move this. Oh, you can go this way. We're learning here, guys. We're learning, and I appreciate you putting up with me. Wait, what? Now I got to hide behind this? I've got a very small window here to work where I'm not hiding in between the chat and the big box. All right, we're good like this. All right, so Ellis is a PrinterBot Pro that is excited to find a new home, and he is going to be heading back east in short order. It's going to be part of my trip to the East Coast prior to New York Maker Faire. I don't know that this is a good idea, but we're going to go with it, okay? Maybe we could switch over. No, we're going to stay with this for now. And what's interesting about this is the Pro, if anybody has it, is traditionally a touchscreen interface. We'll do this. Close-up cam. And you notice there is no touchscreen, mostly because the cost of providing such things prohibitive. Plus, these are all beta units that were originally made, and so a lot of them never had the proper equipment. Some of them were returned. Some of them, the geometries weren't right on them. And so the process has been kind of Frankensteining together stuff from parts that were found. And so inside we've got a... Look on the close-up cam there. That's a printer board, which is kind of a more standard RepRap piece. And we're going to mod this guy to run off of a printer board. So I've got it mounted, and you can see it's not pretty right now. So hopefully we'll get that all cleaned up before it goes to a school, just so it doesn't look like any kind of hazard, and we get the electrical all wired in and everything. But it's going to be... a little bit of a challenge because there is no build manual around any of this. And the good news is the geometries, the gantry and stuff is all the same. It's nice and solid. Everything is milled aluminum and steel, powder-coated steel. I had to pick up a couple of extra parts because we didn't have everything. And that's kind of slowed things down because I was missing parts of the wiring kit, and I wanted to get some, some sleeving and stuff like that, so I don't have a bunch of exposed wires. Because the last thing you want when it's in a school is to have a bunch of exposed wires hanging out and whatnot. But I'm getting close. I did have a little bit of a funny mix-up this week. The sensor that I picked up is, this is the hazards of sometimes. It's a little bit large, actually, and it might be hard to have the context, but you can see it's supposed to go right in here, and I just made the silly mistake of looking at a picture on the website, on Amazon, and being like, oh yeah, that looks like the sensor I need, and not even thinking that it could be a larger diameter and whatnot. So that's That's rookie ball. But you know what? I could probably make this work, but I think I'm just gonna wait till get one the right size. These things are not very expensive, and that way it'll mount where it needs to, and I don't have to do any more drilling and whatnot. So yeah, I know Ellis is still a little bit of a hodgepodge, but you know what? I've got a month still before he's got to be ready. And actually, I'm going to be taking this to a school in Philly right after Maker Faire, so I can actually train the teacher on it personally, which I'm excited about. That'll be a lot of fun. So that's MakerBot update for number 1. The other 2, one of them is going to go to my son's school, and they just started up this week. So I'm still coordinating with his teacher in terms of like when to come in and do a little prezo on that. But I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun. I haven't done much in the way of like education yet. I mean, I have relationships and I've talked to a lot of teachers, but I've never actually presented in front of kids yet. So that'll be an interesting contribution. And I mentioned in the past too, I'm signed up to teach an intro class on Tinkercad in the coming month at the local library, which will be interesting as well because I've never taught Tinkercad before. So, but hey, how hard could it be, right? It's Tinkercad. So that'll be a lot of fun, and I'll post some updates on how that goes. And if you've got any tips for me in terms of teaching stuff like that, hey, I'd love to hear it. So let's head back over here. I want to sit down. I want to see what's going on in the chat. Because you know what? I missed you guys. I wanted to be up. I wanted to be front and center, you know, personal. You know, while I'm talking about this too, I was a little bit sad. I went to the eye doctor yesterday, story time, and he told me I was, because I'm pushing 40 now, that it's time to get some reading glasses. And you know, I reflected on that, and I thought, well, you know, it's been a good run. I actually had contacts for a long time, and not comfortable contact. I'm talking hard lenses back in the day, until I was able to save up every penny to get, oh, no calls right now, save up money to get LASIK, which is life-changing for anybody that's ever had giant Coke bottle glasses or thick contacts. But anyway, so the reading glasses are coming. I got fitted for that. Man, the technology they got there is amazing now, man. It was like, go to this machine and do this, and it took a picture of my retina, and then, you know, and something poked me in the eye really fast, repetitively, which sucked, but apparently that means I don't have glaucoma. And anyway, more than you probably want to know about my eye health, but I guess for sitting in front of the computer, I'm a coder. I do web development when I'm not doing 3D printing and stuff, and so, you know, cut down on the eye strain, and then hopefully maybe, you know, not feel so exhausted at the end of the day. We'll see. I don't know. I think he was just looking for more money for his new boat, and he was trying to give me the hard sell on some glasses, but whatever, you know, for the $100 that the glasses are going to cost me, maybe it'll be worth it, and maybe I'll have a new fashionable thing. Hey, you know what? Maybe I'll 3D print, you know, some custom frames, because the frame selection they gave me was pretty lame. So stay tuned for that. That could be fun. Yeah. Jeff, I hear you, man. Glasses for life. No option for LASIK for you, huh, buddy? Yeah, avoiding the eye. You know what? It was a double whammy too. I went to the dentist earlier this week, and I gotta get a veneer, and it's a mess. You guys don't want to hear about all this though. Let's go back into the blue light glasses. Yeah, they tried to sell me on the tint and stuff. Let's go back into some 3D printing stuff, and then we'll see where we're at. Yeah, you want to see some 3D printed glasses? I got your 3D printed glasses right here, Heather. Tell me what you think of these bad boys right here. My daughter made these for me. Actually, my son made these ones, but I have a pair that my daughter made as well. These are custom right here. You see that? That's some custom pen work. We'll talk about that maybe if we have some time. I don't know if you guys caught Tom's video this last week that dropped on the 3D printer pens, but I actually have a couple of those that some of my suppliers sent me to test, and I gotta tell you, you know, I think a lot of people are like, a 3D printing pen, it's first of all, 3D printing pen is marketing. It's not a 3D printer. It extrudes plastic, yes, and you can somewhat work up into space. But um, the real point that they shine on is that, one, first and foremost, it's a fun arts and crafts thing for the kids. It's not as, I think you'll hear some negativity around like, oh, you got a hot thing and your kids are gonna burn themselves on them. My 4-year-olds were doing it. 4 soon to be 5, 4 going on like 25. But the twins were doing it, and my son, who's 7, gonna be 8 soon, loved it. They ask me like every day now, when are we doing it again? When are we doing it again? So, it's like puffy paint, but better because it dries instantly, and you can do a little bit more with it. I think some of the things that Tom missed that I would add in would be if you have a laminator to like print out whatever stencil you want to do. First of all, like instead of trying to make a 3D object, the way to go is you do stencils and you trace around them, and then you glue them together using the pen. You glue the pieces together, and it works really well, and it's a lot of fun, honestly. So if you haven't seen that, we made a quick. It was the last Rep Kids episode I did with with Biggs, my son. Just over the weekend, and we made a cool PVC frame that held the filament and a power strip above, so you weren't having to deal with, I don't know if you noticed Tom's sister, but she was like kind of dealing with those weird coils and stuff, which isn't the end of the world, but it's really nice when it's all tucked up out of the way. And the kids just had a blast with it, man. They couldn't stop it. Honestly, it felt like we were wasting a lot of filament, but I don't know if you could say it's a waste, because what's the enjoyment of a child's enjoyment? What is that worth? Okay, so yeah, 3D printing pens was cool. That was a fun project that we did just this last week. What else? Oh, I want to talk about the extruder, the new extruder I got for the Betamax here. That's my Delta. So I got this in the mail. This, for anybody that's ever received a fine. We'll go to the close-up cam. This is some fine packaging from China, and I was waiting for the exciting moment to unbox it with you guys, and I'm just gonna throw a bunch of pieces. But this is the Titan, the E3D Titan kit, the E3D Titan kit, because this is the Chinese knockoff. But spoiler, E3D doesn't actually manufacture these. They actually have them done in China, and so you see their stuff pop up because basically they have no. Well, I'm not entirely sure what the patents or whatever situation is, but that's what happens when you have stuff produced in China that, these manufacturers want to make as much money as they can on it, and so they release them under their own names. But I'll show you here in the close-up cam, it says right here, still says designed by E3D on it. So there's a good chance it's the same tooling, whether or not they're using the same high quality material. It doesn't look like it. I have some genuine Titan parts, and I can tell you right now that it looks like they've used some crystal styrene maybe here instead of some polycarbonate for some of the pieces. I'll put these over on the table here, and you guys can get a close-up. Let's move Ellis out of the way. Ellis, you're in the way. Oof. That's smelfy there. I was feeling a little bit ripe right now. It's 5:40. You know what? I did my Make the Maker run earlier in Neil Portnoy's honor, Mike. And don't tell anybody, but I didn't take a shower after. That's pretty gross. That's probably TMI, but hey. Hey, Odie. It's my dog chiming in. I think he's hungry for dinner. We'll get to that in a minute, Odie. We'll get to it. Funny little Easter egg, too. If you check out the video where we did... Oh, come on, man. If you check out the video we did on the 3D printer pen... Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Let me see. Here. That's Odie right there. He's a sweetie. He's about 2 years old. We rescued him. He's our dumpster dog, we call him. But he'll let you know when he's hungry. If you check out the 3D printer pen video that we did, he pulled this on us on that as well. He came up like while we were recording and just started whimpering at us. Says, "Hey, it's dinner time." Dinner time. Yep, feed the pup. I know, I know. So anyway, back to the Titan. Here's the parts. And we'll get in closer. So just at first glance, I'm going to put this guy, I'm excited for this because my extruder on the Betamax, the Delta, which it's technically the Hatchbox Alpha was the original printer. Okay, if I feed you, will you stop? How many people have had to interrupt their live stream to feed a dog? This is ridiculous. Come on, bud. Be right back. Time out. You can probably still hear me. Benefits of wireless audio. The kibble cam is not attached today. All right, you stay there. Eat your dinner. Man, when it's dinner time, right? Jeez. Okay. So back to the Titan. The big box Alpha, or the Betamax as I like to call it. Beta because I've upgraded it pretty substantially, and Max because it's a throwback to the Betamax tapes of old. And I like retro references like that. All right, so here's all the goodies. Do some knolling here for you real quick, speed knolling. I don't know if that's a thing or not. All right, so we got some bearings. We got some yeah, they don't put anything together for you. I mean, thankfully this is the Titan kit is actually a pretty nice extruder, and having that, I think it's a 3-to-1 gear ratio on it. Here's just a quick look at how it goes. So your stepper motor's right here, and it actually engages with this gear here, which gives you a lot more torque to work with, and there's a hobbed bolt on it, hob nut. I'm not sure exactly how you'd say it, but anyway, that's on the wheel there, and grabs and pushes a little bit more. And let's see here. That's interesting. I wonder if they gave I've never seen a plastic geared piece before for that. This is a little bit different, not too different. This looks like a newer lever than on the original Titans I have. But basically, this guy goes in here with your idler wheel, which is this guy. So that goes in there. This is like super casual speed assembly. And then your filament comes in here, pushes down, and then you've got adapters if you want to do a Bowden setup or a direct drive. I'll do a direct, actually no, on this guy I'm going to do a Bowden setup, but this is what it looks like on my big box. You got your direct drive, goes straight in there, and that is a nice setup. I'm sorry I missed a piece. You need this guy. Where'd I put it? Oh, it's right next to it. Yeah, this guy goes in here right above the top. Kind of fits in there like that. This is a little bit of a hodgepodge. Let's see, can you see that? And really gives the filament nowhere to go, which is awesome when you're doing some TPUs and some Flex, some Ninja, all that stuff, because you really can't give that stuff anywhere to go, especially if you're doing a Bowden setup. I don't like to run Flex on a Bowden setup. I am not a fan. I know it can be done, and I've had many discussions about it and stuff. It's just not the right tool for the job. But you know, if that's all you got and you really want to try, hey, more power to you. I have other options for doing that, so I do. But Titan, I'm going to get that installed, and hopefully I'll do a follow-up next week. But the extruder on there right now, I love this little mount here, because look at this, man. I can just go all over the place. See what's going on. This is a crummy little aluminum extruder that just, and it's just been dying for an upgrade. So I think if we get some geared action going there, that's going to do some wonders for the Betamax. We will see. Stay tuned on that. The other upgrade I've got coming for the Betamax, maybe at some point this thing's going to go beyond alpha and beta, and it'll be like a live model, a real 3D printer. Actually, it does really well, but I kid. The other upgrade I've got for it is I got my Octoprint kit for it. And watch this. Let's do a scene change. Ready? Star Wars scene wipe. Dun, 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 dun. All right, so we got our Pi. This is actually an old, this is a model, I think that's a Model B, but that should work okay. And then I got a cam, a Pi cam here, and I got to figure out how I'm going to handle the camera mount on this guy. I think, well, I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I'd like to probably put something probably down low, maybe like here aimed at the bed, something swiveled off here. Could be a good opportunity to integrate a enclosure into it as well. But there's no shortage of things that the Betamax needs, or that I'd like to do for him. And this is just a 5-volt adapter to feed the. It's a buck transformer, so basically I can take the power supply. It's a 24-volt system on this guy, and I can take it down to 5 volts to feed the Pi. And then the Pi will connect to the board and give me some remote control goodness, so I don't have to do any more SD card swaps, which is always nice. Let's see what's going on in the chat. What am I missing? Why is the chat cutting off the bottom here? I thought I had this all configured right. That's all right. We'll have to. I guess we have to wait to get the latest scrolled up here. Maybe if I move this down. We're gonna worry about that another time. You know, like I said, I get a little bit further with this OBS streaming and stuff as we go, but it's good. All right, what else do we have to talk about? How are we on time here? 5:49. Follow-ups from last. Oh, the Plastidip. I am embarrassed to say I still haven't done the Plastidip on the cleaning kit. I have no excuse other than I've just been doing other projects and stuff like that, so that's still to come. But I am very optimistic on that piece, so we'll follow up on that. And yeah, I think I had a couple tips that I was going to throw out if you guys are interested, and then we can get to the giveaway, and then if there's anything else you guys want to chat about, we can do that. Looks like you've all just kind of conversed amongst yourself too. I doubt anybody's listening to me anymore at this point, which is totally fine because who am I to have anything interesting to say? Anyway, maybe we need to get some audio on here. We'll get some of that that nice royalty-free music, some house music in the background here soon. Greg, what's going on, dude? You're the sponsor. What do you want to say today? What do you have to say to the people, man? Heather is very attentive. I'll bet you were a great student, Heather. You were like front of the class, always paying attention. So you're going to get the quiz later. Sean's not listening. I knew I could count on him to tune it out. Banana for scale. I don't know what that means. All right. Back to the Tinkercad. You used to teach kids with the Tinkercad. I want to pick your brain about that, man. That'll be awesome. I'll be interested to see what kind of clientele the local library brings. It's where I live is a little bit of we're out a little ways, and it's a nice diverse population. Last time I was down there, they were doing like an intro to 3D printing because the library had gotten grant money for like some maker bots, and not recent ones either. They were like the original Gen 1 MakerBot. Yeah, I'm a little bit rural, Nick. Lies. Out in the boonies. You guys are out in the boonies. Anyway, library. If you guys haven't gotten this, I'm very ADHD, so it's like I see something shiny. Ooh, shiny. Look over there. And I get distracted very easily. So anyway, library will be interesting clientele. When I was there, there was a bunch of moms and their kids. It was like a Thursday afternoon, so it probably wasn't, you weren't going to see a lot of working people, obviously. And it was kind of a funny class because they were like, this is a 3D printer, and here's how you level the bed. And, like absolutely no background or discussion on like what you need to do to like print something or what I mean, like these people had never even heard of a 3D printer, never mind like 3D modeling before. And so it was like a really... it was really kind of funny in the assumptions that we made. But to be fair, it was this retired volunteer who he had just kind of picked it up and said he would volunteer to demonstrate how to run filament through the printer. But they had like one tiny spool of MakerBot filament in like one color, and they're like, we're hoping to get some more colors. And I was like, you know what, I donated some filament, and they were like beside themselves. They're like, look at all these colors. This is incredible. This is like, people are actually going to use the printer. I'm like, I was so sad. They had these two printers, and like the limitation was the what? We're getting super chatted now. This is incredible. You know what? I appreciate that. I feel like I should turn that off because I don't. Well, I mean, your donation is greatly appreciated, and I think I may do something where I can find a good charity to donate this to. Maybe I'll put some of it toward the school that I'm working with or something like that. But I thank you, Primarily Print 3D. That is very generous of you. I appreciate it, and very direct with your instructions on it. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we're going to the. Wow. Everybody decides to call me right now. Oh, we're gonna. That's funny. I thought I might have accidentally accepted that call. That would have been funny. Take a live call. Now taking calls. Now taking your calls on the HumpDay RepRapUp. Yeah, library. The limitation was like the filament they had, and there was no explanation of what you could even do. They never even printed anything. So that was a crazy experience. So I was happy to go in and, you know what, I'd be happy to volunteer some time to do maybe an intro to 3D design and talk about the printers and, maybe have something running so they can get like a good understanding of like what's going on. But I expect it'll be a younger crowd there too. So I'll have to tailor the curriculum accordingly. But you know what? I got to tell you, that's the cool thing about Tinkercad. If you haven't spent any time on Tinkercad, it's a really fun thing to check it out. And if you've ever considered getting your kids into this, if you have children, or if you just want to learn a little bit more about design yourself, it is a awesome place to start. It is, I would say it is highly intuitive. And let's see here. I was just going to try to pull it up so you guys could see it, but I'm sure you've all seen Tinkercad. Let's see here. Switch the wipe over to the desktop. And okay, don't look at my password. What? Lies. Ah, there it is. It's one of 15 passwords that I have. All right, don't look at all my goodies in here. Here, I'll tell you about this. This is a cool upcoming project that I'm working on. I'm really stoked for this. This is, because you guys are my loyal watchers, this is a frame that actually clips onto a Lego base plate. So it'll go all the way around, and it's got a little thing so you can actually hang the Lego plate on the wall. And I'm printing a set of letters and numbers so the kids can like hang it on their door and it can say Big's room, or it can say thing 1 lives here, or whatever you want it to say. Or you could use it as a nice here's what's for dinner tonight, or it could be like a little addition and subtraction board. So watch for that. I'm going to release this guy on Thingiverse soon, I hope. I'm working on a Lego and a Duplo version, and I was able to actually secure a bunch of those Lego base plates. It's compatible with the standard size, but one of my suppliers had a connection in China and sent me a bunch of samples, and I'll sell those too probably in my Amazon store for anybody that wants to do like a maker kit. I teased this a little bit last week, but I'm toying with this idea of creating these things called maker kits, where it's like things that you can either build yourself or with your kids. And there's a 3D printing element to it, but then the parts that you might not be able to 3D print or wouldn't be practical to 3D print, sorry Chris, would be included in the kit. And so I'm thinking about, releasing the STL file with this, along with, if you buy the base plate and the numbers and the letters and stuff like that that can go with it. And if you've been paying attention to my Twitter also, I started converting some of the 3D block zoo that Tessa did into compatible with Lego and Duplo compatible with this, which is, I think, really cool. The kids love that as well. So so good. There, I teased the new up-and-coming project for you. Product, I suppose. Back to the main view. How crazy. Tell me more. All right, tinkering corner. Let's see. Let's go back here. All right. So I'm going to give you 2 tips of the week this week, because I feel like they were good, and they're just some little nuggets. They're not as nuggety goodness maybe as Jay Wall's nuggety goodness that he does in his whole video montage, but the first one is, I think it sounds silly, but I sit in here with my printers all day, like while I work. Usually, like, I get up, I have a cup of coffee at the beginning of the day, I tear the print that failed the night before off the plate, and I start with a fresh one. And while that's trying to die during the day while I'm working, my tip is listen to your printer if you don't already. Like, I know a lot of you guys probably work with headphones on if you work from home, or maybe you don't even work around your 3D printer. But if you do happen to be in proximity to your printer or not, like, I gotta tell you, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna tell you if it's having a problem, and that circles back well. Like how you like my junk cam here? I left it on there. That circles back well to this guy. So this maker coin I was talking about at the beginning. Another shout out to you, Cyber Dustin. Cyber Dustin picked up my slack and actually made me a maker coin. I didn't ask him to do it. He did it out of the goodness of his own heart. That's the kind of people that are in our community, and I love. Just out of the blue, I just got a notification from him last night. He was like, hey, I made something, and it's your maker coin. And I was like, dude, that is an awesome maker coin. And so I wanted to print it today in something sweet and blingy. You see that sheen that we got on there. Plastic cowboy in the house. What's up, Reagan? How you doing, bud? And so anyway, you'll notice, though, I said this earlier, it's missing a couple layers on top. And the reason for that, I'm going to show you the reason for that. Sometimes having suppliers that send you stuff is not all that it's cut up to be. I'm going to put this on the close-up cam. This is some bronze fill that I thought would have been awesome for this project. And it started out that way, and then look at what happened here. Oh yeah, no, that was, oh yeah, wait, here's the end. Oh no, here's the end. Oh, here's the end. Yeah, no, there it is. Oh, I found it. No, it's there. Yeah. That is some bronze spaghetti mess right there. Look at that. Look at, it's just like flaking off now. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what we refer to as poopy filament. The mysterious poopy filament works as well as about poop does. With these metal fills and wood fills and all these exotic fills that everybody thinks is so cool and so exciting, it is a real problem. It is nice, though. If you just need little pieces, you can make yourself like some cool eyebrows out of them or something like that. But yeah, it was a bummer because I started printing and it was going smooth, and lo and behold, the telltale thing is as you get closer to the barrel of the spool, which is that piece at the center there where it's wrapped the tightest, that's usually, the closer you get to that, that's when you're going to see it fail, which is real shenanigans. Shout out shenanigans. Because, you know, you've got all these, it takes you some time to get to it. And so you think, hey, yeah, this is going great. This is smooth. I love this. This is awesome. And then poopy print. So when I was talking about listening to the print, I had this thing on the spool holder at the top of the Betamax, and I would hear it go ka-tung, like a spring broke, right? And you know, sure enough, I look up and I'm like, oh, that filament is no longer attached to the spool. That is not good. And so I would run over there and I would grab it. And then the cool thing about this is it's actually kind of forgiving in this Bowden setup. Like I could actually grab the end and feed it in, and it would continue to press down and feed through. And I did that about 10 times before I ran out of like actual usable stuff. It turned into just these tiny bits, and I was like, this is ridiculous. So this is maybe a good candidate for another print resume video. If you haven't seen that, I have a cool technique you should check out on resuming failed prints by hacking the G-code. Scary as that might sound, it actually works rather well. And in this case, I think I've only got like probably 8 or 9 more layers to go, if that. I would say it was pretty close. It kind of looks cool though, like that. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe if I don't know why I struggle with the reverse direction. You know, maybe I could just leave it exposed or fill it up with some Cheese Whiz or something, you know, for an extra. Or if I resume, I could resume in another color. Hey, you know, maybe we'll do some black on bronze. That might look pretty sick. So who knows? We'll see. I'll keep you posted on that too. So listen to your printer. It sounds hokey, but I'll hear filament break a lot of time. I'll hear it start to grind. Like a lot of times if you listen to what's going on. Hey, Jeff, welcome. If you listen, I bet you Jeff can attest to this. He runs plenty of prints that, Jeff, tell me, do you listen to your printers? Can you tell when something is awry? I know I can. I get an ear for it, having them going all the time behind me. I shut them off for this because it's a noise hazard, but generally they're going and making a lot of noise, and I moved that little MakerBot Mini I picked up. That thing is loud as all heck. Yeah, listen to your printer. It will usually tell you when something's wrong. I feel like I can almost hear it when it stops extruding. But you can kind of tell where it is in its process and stuff like that. And who knows, if you're kind of paying attention, it may save a print or two. So that's tip 1. The second tip I wanted to give out, and then we'll wrap up with a little giveaway. We got a lot of people in the house tonight. Giveaway sponsored by Greg the Great, who endorses greatness. Second tip is on, for those of you who have an E3D V6 like this. I'm gonna do this over here on the zoom in cam and scene change. And we'll just clear off our workspace here a bit. Tip number 2A is keep a tidy workspace, which I don't abide by. You're lucky you can't see all the rest of the stuff going on in here. It's insane. I was hoping to have a shed quarters update for you because at some point I plan to move out of this place and out into the new digs. But we are not there yet. It still needs some more drywall. And so you're going to see the back of my head, I suppose, here. That's kind of lame. But forgive that. Maybe if I sit like this. What do you guys think of this? What do you think of this? Could I hand model? I know, I'm a goof. If you can't tell, I'm a total goof. So the tip is this. Get rid of the poopy filament. And our oversized inductive sensor. And that goes in that box. All right, so here's your standard E3D V6 setup. You've got your heat break in here. And I've already used the thermal set, what do they call it? Basically, the thermal grease or the conductive grease, basically to help the heat radiate out to the cooling fins on the cooling block here. And then this is our hot block. And for sake of illustration, I don't have the heater cartridge in it, but that would go here in the larger hole, and then the thermistor goes in the smaller hole. And for any of you that have dealt with this before, you know that whenever you're trying to change the nozzle, it is a real bear to like grab onto this because it's got to be heated up, right? And there's been a lot of talk lately about using spanners and all that stuff, and yeah, that does work, but the problem with a traditional spanner or wrench or a crescent wrench is that it will slip off the end, and depending on how you have set up, most people don't have like a bench vise handy, or they may not be completely detaching. Obviously, if you need this to be heating up, you have to have it wired and attached. Hopefully the focus doesn't keep screwing up, guys. I'm sorry if it does. We'll work on that as I learn here. But I wanted to say, vice grips is the tool for the job, and if you don't have a pair of these and you have an E3D V6, I highly recommend them. They are basically like a little clamp that fits in your hand. And the trick is you don't have a lot of room to grab onto the block, right? Because you got your thermistor coming out and your heated cartridge. And so that limits your options even further. And for your purists out there, you may be like, well, but if you put vice grips on there, you're going to mar the aluminum block finish. I'm like, yeah, that's true. If you're really concerned about that, you could that's a good reason to maybe get a hot sock. Get your hot socks. Too hot for your hot socks. Get a hot sock on there, and that way you can still clamp on and not do it. But I'll tell you what, though, that's a lot trickier to do, and you might not have as good of a grip. But the way that this works is you just tighten the little screw at the end to get it to where it needs to be. And just a little bit, looser, and it doesn't even take a lot. Like I can just grab onto like that tiny little bit at the end and squeeze it till it clicks, and that is, that's on there. And I gotta tell you, I've been, using all kinds of other things like a sucker. Like this makes a world of difference. So sorry if I'm out of the frame there. Sorry. If you have the opportunity to pick these up, you can get them down at Home Depot or anywhere. Look for them on Amazon. I don't sell them, but heck, maybe I should. It's a good tool to have just in general for all kinds of stuff. But if you ever get into welding, brazing, anything like that, holding onto hot metal, clamping stuff, holding it nice and tight in place, good tip. And then I will use actually, rather than the nozzle spanner, see how organized I am here. I think it's in there. I will actually use a small socket. Fix that. I've got to disable that while I am live streaming. I don't know where I put my socket right now, but generally you don't hear people telling you to use a socket drive. I've got like just a little. I'm not going to get it right now. It doesn't matter. You guys know what a socket is. The key is with whatever you're using, do not over torque it. I can't tell you how many nozzle throats and nozzles I've actually broken because I get a little too Western on it and I strip it off. So just give it until it gets tight, and then when it cools down, I like to do a cycle of the heat. So it's like tighten it, and then maybe like just a smidge after, let it cool down, make sure it's still tight, and then heat it up again, and then just a little tightening, just make sure it's snug in there. You do want to make sure that you get it snug though, because the last thing you want is for this to spin freely when you're printing and get a bunch of goo pouring out of your hot block. And I can't show you that from here. It's still tethered on here, but had that issue just the other day. Can't tell you how many times I've had to rebuild my hot end lately. So, swiping back, let's get to the drawing. If I've kept everybody entertained. It looks like we still got most everybody. You know what? Boom, you're gone. And let's just try this here. Not like that. Yeah. What the heck? All right. Does an E3D sell a socket kit? I do not, Jeff. I don't know if E3D sells a socket kit. I know they have a spanner kit that comes with their nozzle kit. They may well sell a socket kit. They are constantly releasing new stuff. I like E3D stuff. It's good. I would like to know the answer to that, though. I'll have to check. Do I sell the hot ends, Jeff? No, I do not currently sell blocks, but there's really no reason that I couldn't. I am actually working on expanding my RepRap parts a little further because I, for one, like having a lot of spare parts. I end up burning through a lot of different stuff as I print, and I print a lot. So there's really no reason that I couldn't. So that's not a bad idea. I was thinking about, there's a limit to obviously like how many things I have funds and capital for investing in different stuff. But for little parts like that coming from China, it's not terrible because they're small and the shipping's not bad. I won't bore you with the details of importing from China and the fun of dealing with customs and bonds and all that stuff. But anyway. All right, does anybody else have any other questions, comments, concerns before we get to the drawing? I think we're at 56 minutes here, so it's been a good one for tonight after the Powerball drawing. No, actually, there is a Powerball drawing. You're being serious, isn't there? All right, so Happy Extruder's looking to win the Powerball drawing. Isn't it like the second biggest in history or something tonight? I think it is. I'm going to look through. I just want to read through your comments because I've been paying attention to myself so much, and I don't feel like I've been paying attention to you guys. Let's see who we have, first of all, in here, because we're going to need to put everybody. Now is the time. If you want to be in the drawing, you better make yourself known in the chat right now, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy these names out of the participant list in the chat. So you little lurkers that are hanging out there not signed in, while I appreciate you being here, you must be present to win. So get on, give us a chat, tell us you're there. And for some reason, every once in a while, names fall off. Good. I'm seeing Chelsea show up. Nick's still in here. Good. All right. So I'm gonna wait maybe a minute here for anybody else to want to leave a comment, and then we will copy the list. And we will do the giveaway sponsored by Greg the Great. When you demand greatness, look no further than Greg the Great. We need some awesome graphics, Greg, like that I can throw up, like lasers, maybe some 80s music or something like that. Yes, Dustin in the house. Shenanigans here. You were forgotten last time? You were not forgotten, Sean. I had you in there. You were not forgotten, my friend. I know I put your name in there. Yeah, it's like raise your hand. Here. What happened to other Jeff? Print 3D. I know he's there. Ooh. Hey, good. Did you Print 3D says he's got a hardened nozzle coming. What did you end up going with there, Jeff? Did you get like the anodized or you didn't do a ruby? I'm guessing. You would have said a ruby probably. Greg can't win his own prize. Greg's the sponsor. Greg can do whatever he wants, but I'll tell you what. If I'm gonna put Greg in, and if Greg wins, it's Greg's choice because he is like the benefactor of this whole thing. So who am I to exclude Greg? Hey, Garrett's in too. Awesome. Thanks for joining, bud. Yeah, other Jeff. I don't know. I don't know how to delineate Jeff from Jeffrey. Anyway, yeah, we got a couple Jeffs in the house. No ruby. Too much for just the nozzle. Yeah. I'm intrigued by that ruby, and I do like spending money on things that will last me a long time. You know, Joel's whole thing is it could well be the last nozzle you ever buy, but the truth is it would never really be the last nozzle you ever buy unless you had like one in every size, and I switch sizes all the time. So I don't know. I think it's a cool idea, and I'm intrigued by it, but I don't do a lot of abrasives right now. I mean, actually, technically, PLA is actually decently abrasive, but as compared to, say, a carbon fiber or some wood fills or something like that, it's overkill. It's overkill. So I'll be curious to hear what your review is. Jeff, are you going to do a review of the hard nozzle you're doing, or are you just going to kind of throw it on there and see how it goes? Dustin, you'd love an Olsen. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would love an Olsen Ruby. Whether or not they're willing to pay $80 for it. I think that's what it is, right? I thought I saw it $80 on Matter Hackers the other day. Shady. Nick says if Greg wins, it's like an election in the Ukraine. Maybe we should exclude Greg because he always wins. If you've ever been in on a drawing, nobody ever beats Greg. Greg, you got to get in that Powerball, dude. I don't know why you're even here. You should be running down and entering that Powerball drawing with your lucky Irish keister. Burning Gems, 5%. Yes, sir. We're going to do a mini review. I like mini reviews. I am trying my late grandma's rubies. Fabricating your own. I like that, Happy Extruder. I hope you have some serious hard tooling to drill out a ruby with. That's no joke right there, son. Oh, Heather's back. I didn't even know you left, but I'm glad you're back, and you're back just in time for the drawing. Okay, this is it. I'm calling it. I'm going to copy all the names. We're going to put them in the Draw-O-Matic random name picker that you will see right here. Methuselah. This was me testing earlier. These are my test names. Look, I had a Jeff in there. And a Jeff reminds me of Jeffrey Tambor. For any of you who have not watched Arrested Development, I don't know what is wrong with you. That is the funniest dang show. Well, one of the funniest dang shows. And I'm rambling. Okay, participants are Burning Gems, Chaos Cortec, Wife of Chaos Cortec, Chelsea. Sorry, didn't mean to minimize here. Like, look at this. Look at how many people show up at drawing time. Amazing. Me, I guess I'm not eligible to win, so I'll copy everybody, and then we'll exclude people that are not eligible to win. All right, Burning Gems. I hope everybody's in here at this point. I gave you more than enough time. If not, show up next time. I'm sure we'll do this again. If we can find a nice benefactor like Greg the Great. When you look for greatness, look for Greg the Great. When you think of greatness. I'm gonna work on that tagline there, Greg. We're gonna come up with something awesome. Nick Angers, Plastic Cowboy. Nick, I'm sorry we're not seeing Lauren in here tonight, but I'm glad you're repping for her. I hope she's feeling better. I know she's had a rough last couple of days, it looked like. Please give her a hug from all of us, especially from Greg the Great, who gives great hugs, I might add. Or I'm told. I assume. I've never had a hug. I hope that Greg does show up for New York Maker Faire so that I can get a hug in person. And maybe I'll do a mini review on that. All right, Shenanigans, you're in there. The proof is in the pudding right there, man. Boom, Shenanigans. Happy Extruder. Okay, is that everybody? Let's go back. Make sure nobody is like screaming at me from chat. Oh, dude, Pyro. Where did you come from, dude? You weren't in there, were you? All right, I'm gonna add you. And then, did we get Practical? I mean, I guess I wasn't paying enough attention. You're lucky, Trav. I caught you. All right, Travis goes in the mix, and Practical's in there. Okay. Now, the highly scientific random name picker. When I click. Where'd the button go? Oh, when I click pick a random name, it is going to reveal a key. That's Spanish for here. All right. All right, you guys are seeing your names are all in here. I am not doing anything shady. Drum roll, please. You don't need to win. No, you don't need to win, but... Oh, wait, is Cowboy in there? Can you take me out? Okay. Oh, Cowboy says he's not worthy. All right, so be it. Your wish is my command. Pyro, you don't want to win? All right, Pyro's out. That's very noble of you guys. Look at these people increasing your odds right there. If only so many people were just as nice for a Happy Extruder on the Powerball drawing tonight. I would, I'm sure he would greatly appreciate that. Anybody else want to bow out of the drawing? Chelsea controls the chaos. Yep. Oh, did I not get you in there? Yep, you're in there, Jeff DeRusso. Okay, everyone is in there. This is happening. Where's my drum roll? I need to get like a Foley guy or something for sound effects. We'll work on that for next week. All right, here it is. 3, 2, 1, go. Print 3D. Channel, you're a winner. Congratulations. You may actually, you know what? I think I may have your info. Well, you know what? DM me on Twitter or find a way. If you can't figure out how to get a hold of me to send me your info to get a free your winnings, then you don't win. Show them what they've won, Johnny. That's right. It's a nice RGB pack courtesy of Greg the Greatness. When you think of greatness, think of Greg the Great. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an awesome stream. I thank you all for joining me. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you learned something. I hope that you come back again and that you don't just like me for my filament, but you know, maybe there's some other stuff on here. You're quite welcome. You're quite welcome, Jeff. I'll get that shipped off to you, and I just want to leave you guys with all a sincere, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for following me, putting up with all my shenanigans and Sean's shenanigans tonight, and for always. I have a blast. I love you guys. Be excellent to one another and make on. Let's do it like this. Make on.